guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cookies and I like to make tutorials and play survival games. Today we're going to show you how to put your avatar into 7 Days to Die. First thing we're going to do is go on over to Nexus Mods. From Nexus Mods we're going to go to the Custom Avatars mod, and we're going to download both the Custom Avatars mod itself and the Vroid converter. Once you have those downloaded, we're going to go into our downloads folder and we're going to extract the Vroid converter. Not share, extract. There we go. Once that's all extracted, we're going to head on over to the Unity Hub. We're going to click Add Project from Disk. I saved mine in my Downloads folder, so that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go find the Vroid to 7 Days to Die converter, and I'm going to open that project inside my Unity Hub. Once that is in the list, I can click it, and we can wait for it to open. It will take a few minutes, so bear with us. Unity is a great program, not a fast one. Once the project has opened in Unity, you're going to go find the scenes and the Vroid converter scene, and you're going to open that up. And you know you're in the right spot if you see version 2 of Gen. At least I think that's version 2. Next, we're going to go and find a VRM. So I have a very bare bones VRM that I have saved directly out of Vroid Studio. So it's got no extra blend shapes, no fun materials. It's just very, very bare bones. I have that saved on my desktop, so I'm going to go grab that. And we're going to drag and drop it right into the Place Avatars Here folder. Sorry, I'm kind of in the way. Once it's in the Place Avatars Here folder, you should show up directly in front of Gen. And it worked like that. This is the spot where we're going to check our first person offset. We're going to make sure that's kind of in the center of our eyes because that is the camera we're going to kind of see through. And mine does seem to be pretty much in the center of my eyes, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the other thing we're going to do at this time is determine what our height is. Now, I would like to be fairly close to Gen's height, so I'm going to grab the scale tool, and I'm going to size myself up a bit. And what you're going to notice is over to the side, your position is going to change, which means your feet are going to be below the 0 point. So if you want to see exactly how tall you've made yourself, go to your y-axis and put it to 0. And then you can see how you measure up to Gen. That looks about right to me. I'm going to make sure all of my positions are 0 because that is standard practice with Unity, I think, personally. And then I'm going to click on myself in the hierarchy, go up to VRM 0, click Export to VRM 0. And then it's going to pop up another box. None of this stuff really matters all that much at this point, and we're just going to click Export. So we have our model exported. I'm going to take the time to delete this one out of the hierarchy because this is no longer the model I'm working with. I'm going to exit out of the Place Avatars Here folder, and I'm going to go into the Avatars folder. And inside, we're going to see a converted folder and a folder with the same name as your avatar. If you look in the converted folder, currently there's nothing there because that's where our Unity 3D file is going to go when we're done. We're going to open up the cookies. Well, in my case, it says cookies 7 Days to Die. We're going to open up the exported version, and inside there is a prefab. We're going to drag that prefab up into the hierarchy, and this is how we can make further changes. In my case, I know that I will glow in the dark if I don't change my shader. So we're going to go back up to VRM 0, change the shaders to Omni Shade, and you can see that made a very large difference in the color of my VRM. So I'm going to take the time to go through and kind of make her look like a little bit more like she should. Because she is a bare bones VRM, often they don't have any color on the eyelashes or eyebrows. So I will take a few minutes to do that, and then we're going to export her into the game. In my case, I'm going to copy my skin color, and I'm going to throw it on the body so that at least my face and my skin match. I do like my clothes to be a little darker than their original colors. So I'm going to go in and add some darkness to that, little richness. And I do have some colors missing, so I'm going to have to throw those on there. Face, brow, perfect. And that. And then eyelashes. somewhere there should be something called the back of hair or hair back. That might be on the body. There it is. Same sort of deal. And then I'm going to go to the hairs themselves. Sometimes it's easier to click on the object itself rather than look through the hierarchy to find it. Now, best practice with your hairs is to have only one material. In my case, I don't have that going on, but that's okay. We're going to hopefully not bog the game down too much with my extra materials. But best practice, one material for your hair, unless you have multiple colors. I should have copied the last material. Copy that color so that we don't end up with a bunch of different colors. Paste it in there a few more times. Paste. That might almost be too dark, but you know what? We're just going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it. Not the end of the world. I can see we do have the custom arm script on there, which means we should be able to hold guns in game, so that is very good. Now I'm happy with how my shaders look, so I'm going to click on my self in the hierarchy, go back up to VRM0, and where it says export, I'm going to click that. Now, if I'm playing multiplayer and I have a bare bones VRM that I would like to put for my friends to see, you can click upload and it will do that for you in multiplayer. That said, please remember that other people do have access to this and some people are nefarious. So I wouldn't necessarily upload my best model ever. You know, think of it like VR chat. There is a risk. It's not a big risk, but it's still there, and I don't want to see you lose your hard-earned models. So what I'm going to do is click export. And if I have anybody who I want to see me as my model in-game, I will send them a copy of the Unity 3D file. So now we've exported it. Now we can go into our exported folder. We've got a thumbnail. We have a Unity 3D file. And we have our prefab. This Unity 3D file, this is the one that we are going to put into the game. So our next step here, we're going to go back to our downloads folder, and we're going to extract the CustomAvatarMod itself. Once that's extracted, we're going to open up Steam, find 7 Days to Die. We're going to manage, browse local files. We're going to find our mods folder. I'm going to delete the previous attempt here. Now I'm going to put the new one in there. So now I have a fresh install of the CustomAvatarMod. Inside the CustomAvatarMod, you're going to find a file called avatars. And that is where we are going to put our model. Now, I saved mine inside my downloads folder. You can find yours wherever you saved your Vroid converter. Click open the Vroid 7 Days to Die converter. Assets, now into the avatars folder, and we're going to go into the converted folder. And here we can find our Unity 3D and Unity 3D meta file. I don't think you need that meta file, but I like to drag it along anyway. Post it in there. And now here comes the test. We're going to open 7 Days to Die and see what happens. Remember to launch your game without the EAC. Switch over to my 7 days screen and we'll cross our fingers. We're going to go testing avatar. Click start. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Maybe your toes too. Spawn us in a random location because we're just doing a test. I'm naked. I'm an avatar. What's this? All right. So clearly the JustAlter mod is working. The question is, do we have a cookies avatar? And it appears that we do have a cookies avatar. We have one. you too can dance in 7 Days to Die. I believe in you. As always, guys, it's been a slice. I hope you learned something new, and we'll see you in the next video.